Today's Sunshine Note is titled, The Road to Emmaus. As they were walking and thinking about what had happened, Jesus came near and started walking along beside them, but they did not know who he was. Luke 24, verse 14 through 16. There is a painting hanging in my dad's office that has been there as long as I can remember. It is a picture of two men walking down a road. Walking between them is Jesus. On the frame is the picture's title, The Road to Emmaus. That painting meant a lot to me when I was your age. Whenever I would visit Dad's office, I was somehow drawn to it. I often stood and stared at it, reliving the story in my mind. It's really the completion of the Easter story. Here's what happened on that road. It was Resurrection Sunday. Two women had gone to Jesus' tomb and found it empty. All they'd hoped for had come true. They raced back to tell the disciples, but the disciples did not believe. The two men walking the road to Emmaus didn't believe either. Maybe you can remember finding out that your parents were the tooth fairy, or that Santa at the mall was really a dressed-up grandpa doing his job. Do you remember how you felt? Did you feel cheated, disappointed, or angry? Did you feel that you had been lied to? Imagine how these men felt. They thought Jesus was the Messiah, but they had watched him die. The Bible says that as they walked along, they talked about everything that had happened. They focused on the past. Their talk was not of hope, that this was the third day and that Jesus was somewhere alive. As far as they knew, their hopes were dead and buried. It's hard for us to imagine that the men didn't recognize Jesus when he started walking beside them. It wasn't until they had reached Emmaus and Jesus was eating with them that they finally realized who their companion really was. Imagine their excitement. He had kept his promise. Good news had come from the bad. Hope was alive. I think that at times we are like those two men. When we are bummed out, we walk along with our heads down. We think only of the past and all the bad things that had happened. We don't have any hope for the future. And our sadness makes us blind to the fact that we are not walking through the tough times alone. But Jesus is walking right beside us. How do I know? Because he promised us thousands of years ago, I will never leave you nor forsake you. In other words, on your road of life, he's got your back. As they were talking and thinking about what had happened, Jesus came near and started walking along beside them, but they did not know who he was. Luke 24, verse 14 and 16. May God bless you today.